Tonight, WWE presents another edition of Friday Night SmackDown on Fox from Tropicana Field inside the WWE Thunderdome. Of course, tonight's a big episode of SmackDown because it's the Royal Rumble Go Home show, so there's going to be a lot of Royal Rumble-centric things and events. Obviously, it's nearly Royal Rumble, of course, isn't it? It's Royal Rumble this Sunday. We'll be doing a live watch-along here on the channel, so be sure to subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. Click that notification bell and you'll be notified when we go live on Sunday for the big event. So obviously there's been a couple of things announced for tonight's show so far when it comes to SmackDown, as always is the case when it comes to WWE for SmackDown and Raw. You never know. Honestly, you never know as to what they do or they don't have planned because they don't know what they do and don't have planned. For a while today, we had nothing. It felt like an edition of Monday Night Raw in the sense that, you know, sometimes you're watching, or it's Monday, you know, it must be Monday, it's Monday, and just nothing's been announced for Raw. And some people, when they want to give WWE a lot of credit, they'll say that's because they're trying to keep you guessing. They're keeping us guessing. They want to hook us in to watch more Raw on Monday. In reality, it's because they've got nothing planned. They have nothing. I mean, if they had a poker hand, their poker face would be like this, because they have nothing. They have nothing planned for the show. Everything they do have planned gets shot down, gets changed, gets rewritten, whatever. I'm not saying that's the case for SmackDown tonight, but it took a while. It took a while to get something announced today. Finally, we did, in the end. We do have some things that are planned for tonight's show, as you can see right there. We have a Kevin Owens and Roman Reigns segment ahead of their Last Man Standing Universal Championship match on Sunday at the Royal Rumble, so we can touch on that. We also have one more match announced for tonight's show, but apart from that, we're going to find out when they go live on Fox tonight. We're going to find out what they have planned and if they can deliver another good show on the road to the Royal Rumble on Sunday. Because let's be honest, when it comes to SmackDown, it's the best show that WWE produces at the moment. That includes NXT as well. Raw, NXT, SmackDown. SmackDown is top of the pile in terms of the ratings, in terms of obviously the network and Fox, but also it's the top of the quality programming that WWE has to offer. SmackDown is light years ahead of Monday Night Raw in terms of quality, in-ring content, storytelling, characters, length of the show, you name it. SmackDown just dominates Monday Night Raw. And the same with NXT. You know, a lot of the time people would say NXT is the best kept secret from WWE. It's the best product. Right now, SmackDown is the best product in WWE. It's just not even close. I mean, it's that. That is just what it is. So as far as tonight on SmackDown, as I mentioned, we're probably going to see a lot of Royal Rumble-centric things as we head into Sunday's show. What we do have announced for Sunday's show is that there's going to be what they're calling a War of Words, not the War of the Worlds, which was a famous, radio drama about aliens coming from Mars. No, this is War of Words between Universal Champion Roman Reigns and Kevin Owens ahead of their Last Man Standing match on Sunday at the Royal Rumble. This has been an interesting build, hasn't it? It always feels like with Roman Reigns at the moment and this Kevin Owens storyline, I think it's been well done. I really enjoyed their match at TLC, their Tables, Ladders and Chairs match. We did it on the watch along, of course. I loved it. I thought Kevin Owens reminded me so much of Mankind, Mick Foley, during that match because he just got the howl kicked out of him and he never stopped getting up, constantly get back up. Another beating, but constantly getting back up. And I thought he did a fantastic job in that match. But the same feeling I have going into that match is the same feeling I have going into their match on Sunday. And that's that Kevin Owens is not going to be the Universal Champion. Kevin Owens is not going to leave the Royal Rumble with that blue Universal Championship bout. He just isn't. It obviously is a filler feud for Roman Reigns to have something to do, continue to build to meet as we head into WrestleMania, where he'll obviously have one of the marquee matches on the show. Who's that against? I mean, I don't know. According to the likes of Dave Meltzer, the only match really confirmed for WrestleMania so far is Roman Reigns' match. We don't know who it's against, though. Some say Daniel Bryan, some say Goldberg, some say The Rock, some say Brock Lesnar, some say Drew McIntyre. It goes on and on and on. So we just don't know at the moment who Roman Reigns is going to be facing, but obviously he's going to be on a marquee match on the show. One thing is for sure, it's not going to be against Kevin Owens, and Kevin Owens is not going to be the Universal Champion. I think the reason that they've continued with this feud is because they had a great match at TLC and they've got a great feud. It's the same thing. I've been saying this for a while. It's the same thing that happened with Roman Reigns and Jey Uso last year. Roman Reigns versus Jey Uso was meant to happen for one pay-per-view. That was Clash of Champions. The whole point of that match and that that program was to get Roman Reigns elevated to another level as a heel, prove to everyone he was a legitimate badass heel. He was fighting his family. He was demoralizing, brutalizing his family. It was to prove to everyone at home, Roman Reigns is a legitimate heel. You have to boo him. He has serious heat on him because he's brutalizing his family. What went wrong or right in that match was that it was so good and the storyline was fantastic, and everyone on social media and in the pro wrestling industry was raving about it, about how great the story was, how great the acting was, how great the character development was, all of it, the promos, the matches, everything was so good. They continued it, and they continued it instead to Hell in a Cell, and then you had that I Quit match inside of Hell in a Cell, which was better than the match that Jey Uso and Roman Reigns had at Clash of Champions, and now Jey Uso is part of the faction with Reigns and Paul Heyman, and that's been the same thing here with Kevin Owens and Roman Reigns. I think it was just scheduled for TLC. It was meant to be a one-match program. The same thing happened with Jey Uso, in the sense that it was very good. It was critically acclaimed. The storylines were great. The promos were great. Obviously, the match at TLC, that was fantastic as well. And I think those in WWE said, you know what? Why don't we continue it? We haven't really got anything that has to be done for the Royal Rumble. We could have a Daniel Bryan, you could have whoever, but the Kevin Owens thing is going over well. Kevin Owens is a reliable worker. He's a solid worker. They have great chemistry. That goes all the way back to when they had their matches in 2016, 2017, of course. 2017 Royal Rumble. Was it Last Man Standing match as well? Chris Jericho suspended over the ring in a shark cage. That was fantastic too. So they have fantastic chemistry, and they continue to prove that. So I think they just continued it for that reason. As I mentioned before, though, Kevin Owens is not going to become Universal Champion. It's going to be Roman Reigns. I have no doubt in my mind, in the slightest, that Roman Reigns will leave Royal Rumble on Sunday as the Universal Champion. But I also have no doubt in my mind, in the slightest, that they'll have a fantastic match, because that's what they do. They have fantastic matches. With the Royal Rumble match, with the Royal Rumble pay-per-view as well, because you've got those two Royal Rumble matches that obviously last about 60 minutes. There's only 3 other matches announced for the show. There's the Universal Championship match, the WWE Championship match, and a Women's Tag Team title match. Well, we know that the WWE Championship match, that's lasting about 3 or 4 minutes. The Women's Tag Team title match, that'll probably last, 15 minutes, 10, 15 minutes? So that means this Kevin Owens-Roman Reigns match is probably going to go about 30 minutes. So considering the chemistry, considering the 2 people involved, considering everyone that's involved in this program, this faction, this storyline, Heyman, Uso, you name it, we're going to see something really, really special on Sunday. So I'm really excited for that. As far as tonight's segment, I'm sure we'll have some great promos, because Kevin Owens is a fantastic promo. I think now he's got to the point where he's better as a babyface than he ever was as a heel, which says a lot, because Kevin Owens is a fantastic heel. Roman Reigns, his levels have just been, upped and upped and upped and upped. Ever since he's returned, he's great in the ring. I think he's underrated, frankly, in the ring. He's had some fantastic matches over the years. Now, though, his promos and his character ability, it's arguably the best on the roster. The way that he talks during his promos, he's quieter, he's slower, he's more methodical. The way he looks at people like Paul Heyman, the way he talks down to people like Jey Uso, the way he talks down to Kevin Owens, or he talks quietly, or he slows things down, or he takes big pauses and makes the audience feel uncomfortable, or makes the opponent feel uncomfortable, you name it. He's just fantastic. He really is. He is the top of the WWE right now. There's no question for me. Roman Reigns is the overall package. He is the best. He is the best right now. I truly believe that. So I'm very excited for what happens on Sunday. As I mentioned, this thing tonight, it'll just be promos back and forth, but it'll certainly be very exciting considering what's happened in the storyline, throwing people off out of stands and all that kind of stuff. Maybe we'll see some physicality. I don't know. It's meant to be a sit-down segment with Michael Cole, I think, so I don't know if we'll get any physicality. Maybe not. Who knows? As far as other things that have been announced for tonight's show as well, it's also been announced that former SmackDown Women's Champion Bayley will battle Bianca Belair, easy for me to say, a lot of B's there, in singles action on tonight's show. This comes, of course, after Belair defeated Bayley in her own Ultimate Athlete Obstacle Course Challenge last week. In fairness, I thought the Obstacle Course Challenge last week, I thought it was a pretty decent segment, considering that I'm not usually a fan of those kind of things, those sort of overly gimmicky, comedic sort of stuff. I think if it gets pulled off, then you know the people involved are pretty special, and that's what Bayley is. Bayley is a special performer. Bayley is a special character performer. She has just nestled into this version of her character so well. Yes, there is maybe a bit too much leaning on the comedic side of things sometimes for my liking, but I think she pulls it off very well. And frankly, Bianca Belair, look, she deadlifted Otis on her shoulders last week. There's no way of sugarcoating that. Otis can't Otis can't make himself less heavy when he's on her shoulders. So that is incredible. She is just an unbelievable athlete. The whole EST of WWE stuff is not a gimmick. Bianca Belair is legit. And frankly, she has to be one of the favourites for Sunday's Women's Royal Rumble match. I know when it comes to the betting odds, I think she's up there. I don't know. I haven't looked in a couple of weeks because I don't want to spoil it for myself. But Bianca Belair, for me, has to be a favourite. I, at this point, really want to see and really hope to see Bianca Belair versus Sasha Banks at WrestleMania. If we get that or not, I don't know. But it's certainly something that I want to see. As far as their match tonight on SmackDown, I would think Bianca Belair wins. My only concern, once again, would be Bayley, that since she lost the SmackDown Women's Championship, all she's done is lose. And when it comes to the pro wrestling industry, as I've mentioned several times before, it's about what am I doing next? Okay, I lost the Women's Championship, what am I doing next? Where am I going next? Sometimes that's the biggest problem, is what am I doing next? And it feels like at the moment all she's doing is getting a talk show and losing. And I'm not sure if that's the best thing for her right now. But of course, as always, it's just one man's opinion. What are your thoughts on the things that have been announced for SmackDown tonight inside the Thunderdome? Roman Reigns, Kevin Owens, War of Words, and Bayley versus Bianca Belair. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I'll do my best to respond and reply to all of your comments. Really enjoy interacting with you guys, talking about WWE, SmackDown, Raw, NXT, the Royal Rumble on Sunday, all that fun stuff. Get involved in the community, drop a comment below. All opinions are welcome. If you have enjoyed this video, please do smash a like on the like button too. Really does help us out here on YouTube, go up the rankings and get into people's recommendation feeds if they haven't seen our videos previously. But most importantly, if you haven't already, please do subscribe to WrestleNews 365. You can do that by clicking the bottom right hand corner of the screen right now. Or if you wait a few seconds, there'll be a subscribe button at the end of this video along with another video for you to watch. Thank you very much for watching, listening, streaming, or having come across this video today. And I'll speak to you again very, very soon. Hey guys, thank you for watching, listening, streaming, or however you come across this video today. Be sure to click on the video on the right there to watch our next video, or click the bottom there to subscribe, or the bottom right hand corner. Thank you very much, and I'll speak to you again very soon.